Hi, you're watching Impressions, the music show. On our program, we'll be spotlighting Hudson County musicians playing original music. Hi, welcome to Impressions. I'm your host, Jennifer. Today we have with us the Knobs, the No Fun Band, and we're going to show you an interview and performance that we had a few weeks ago with Jay Krempa. So don't go away, we'll be right back.
Of all the weapons used in the world in the last 40 years, none had more power than this one.
Now let's hear the Knobs and Devastated.
Tonight, Dolores had a few drinks, did some crack, and ended up another tragic story. Only she doesn't know it yet. Drugs make you forget. And if you forget how risky sex can be, you could catch the AIDS virus and not know it for months, even years. AIDS, another way drugs can kill.
We're back, and joining us is the Knobs. That was a great song, guys.
Thank you.
You're too kind.
So why don't you introduce yourself for us?
I'm Ziggy, I play the bass.
I'm Joe, I play the drums.
Jimmy, Christy, guitar, vocals.
Guitar, vocals.
Yep.
So how did you guys meet?
Let's see.
Ooh, boy.
We went to grammar school together, me and Peter.
And I was in another band. And actually,
Joe lived a block away from me, but somehow we hooked up, and I joined Joe's band. Later on, Joe's band broke up. I said, well, I know another guitar player. We met Jimmy,
and I joined.
And how long ago was that?
Jeez, 100 years, I think.
About 12 13 years ago.
Long time ago.
The Knobs were born 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Is this the whole group?
Yes.
3 of you, and you've been together for 13 years.
13.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what kind of bands influence you guys, influence the music you write?
Definitely the Beatles.
Beatles.
Can't get away from that.
The
Oh,
whole
really?
60s English kind of
Yeah.
thing, definitely.
Invasion.
Jingly guitar stuff, you know.
Made a record, made a single.
Less than 3 minute
Years ago.
songs, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that first song you just did for us, Devastated,
Yeah.
that's a great tune. And who wrote the music for that? You wrote the music for that?
Yep.
And how did you come up with that? What influenced you?
Oh, geez. Somebody I knew influenced me. I don't know.
Person.
So
Your
it's
basic
it's-
girl trouble
yeah.
stuff.
the girl trouble stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That juicy stuff. I know.
Stuff that's still too juicy to go into. probably.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll do it on the X-rated cable.
Right.
you can tell us here. So
Come to
most
my
of
house
your
and I'll tell you about it.
so most of your music is about love songs, or
It all
Good old
depends.
times.
It's just, you
A
know,
lot of it has a personal edge to
It's
it.
basically either your basic love song or your basic rock and
Right.
party kind of thing.
Right.
You know.
now one of the songs I heard is about Uncle Milty's. That was something
Yeah.
that was in Bayonne years
I
ago.
wrote that
Before
about,
your
I grew up
time.
down
Yeah.
First Street. I wrote that about
So you wrote that
amusement
about,
park.
about your childhood,
Mhm.
missing it, and
Yeah.
where did Uncle Milty's go to?
And the
Yep.
friends that I used to hang out with there, where are they now? It was funny, one night we were playing in a local bar in Bayonne, and one of the guys in the song was standing outside, remember?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, the
Right.
guy that you
Playing
talk
out-
about,
Right,
where
in the
did
song
Joey
just
or
happened to
Bobby
be
go?
walking by, and
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was one of your friends that you.
Well,
one of
two
Jimmy's
guys I
friends.
grew up with.
So
when I
that
was a kid.
song was mostly about your childhood.
Yeah, or anyone that came from First Street and went to Uncle Milty's. But it was
Oh.
basically,
Well, I'm not
Right.
familiar with Uncle
Yeah,
Milty's,
you
but
see
the
that
song.
painting in Bayonne, that Steve, whatever his name is. guy
Yeah, that's
has
the
it.
only thing I know
Right,
about
well,
Uncle
that's-
Milty's.
That damn
But,
First Street was the, focal point for years when we were kids.
do you write all of the music?
not all of it. No.
Who
All right.
writes?
We both.
Lately,
collaborate.
Jimmy has been writing more. I've been kind of busy at home and stuff, but it used to be more or less a 50-50 kind of thing.
Yeah.
We have a back catalog of probably 50 original songs.
Oh, really? I was going to
At
ask that
least,
next.
yeah.
We go through stages. I'm on a roll now. Yeah.
So
And
how
he'll
many
get on a roll.
songs? You have about 50
I would
songs,
say
original
Somewhere
songs?
close to 50
A lot of
original
recordings.
songs.
Lots.
Lots and lots of recordings.
Yes.
Do you guys have a record out?
We had a record 10 years ago. The Nun and Pretty Little Fingers. When they did a segment on us here about
Oh,
10
really?
years ago.
Yeah.
All about Bayonne. Filmed down First Street.
And the record was out in
Well,
the
8
stores
years ago,
and
about
stuff?
8 years
Yeah.
ago. Well,
It's
yeah,
a
a couple
independent
thousand copies we had done.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you
We
guys,
did it on our own. Nobody was backing us or anything. So
It's time to make new music and sell it.
That's great. And
That's what
where
we're
do you
here
guys
for.
play now? Or you just make recordings?
We're around town.
mostly Bayonne.
Wherever they pay, we
Wherever
play.
they pay, we play.
We do everything from christenings to block parties and everything in
Yeah.
between.
And you play at local bars or
Yep.
Mostly, yeah.
Local functions,
functions?
local bars.
Joe and our friend Bobby have a recording studio. We spend a lot of time in.
Oh, so you do mostly
Right,
a
still
lot of
doing a lot of
recordings.
that, right?
Well,
Someday
we
We
something's
prefer
gonna
to play
click.
live, though.
We still think someday something's gonna click, and you never know.
Well, what do you think is ahead in the future for you guys?
Well, we want to try and sell a record.
You
Sell
want to
the
go
record,
further and
Absolutely.
make money.
make it big? And
That's what we're here for.
At
Well,
least moderately, something. We've been doing it so long, somebody should recognize us for something.
well, I wish you guys all the best of luck, and I hope
Thanks a
that
lot.
you do come out with a hit record, and then I could say I know you.
That's right.
Right.
That's great.
And thanks for joining us. And don't go away, because we'll be right back with another song from the Knobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony had some drinks, a few joints, and got into a fatal accident tonight. Only he doesn't know it yet. Drugs make you forget. And if you forget how risky sex can be, you could catch the AIDS virus and not know it for months, even years. AIDS, another way drugs can kill.
Change of heart is gonna come your way. Maybe not today. You'll have a change of heart. I said a change of heart will come over you. There's nothing you can do.
painting, and when I was a freshman in high school, I bought a synthesizer, played around on it, and you know, eventually I got into a band, and it just took off from there.
You're not in with a band anymore then?
Well, I have a band together now, but basically it's focused around the songs that I write. I'm not really collaborating with many people.
Oh, okay, so you're basically just playing by yourself most of the time?
Yeah, when it comes to writing material, I work with different people. When I play out live, I have a band set up, but generally speaking, it's sort of a solo arrangement, you know, when it comes to writing the songs and recording them.
Yeah, well, how do you make the song sound like it's a whole band then, if you basically do it by yourself?
Well, what I'll do is I'll lay down drum tracks and bass tracks and keyboard tracks in my house and come up with some vocal ideas, record them and get a basic mix, and then I'll go to the studio and I'll have the guitar player, Mike D'Amato, he'll record his guitar tracks, and then the song just comes together from there.
So you do all that with just your keyboard?
Yeah, there's digital samples of the drums and basses, but live Rob Eckert plays the drums.
Oh, that's good, because it sounds like a whole band. And how do you come up with the ideas for your songs? You write them yourself, you said?
Yeah, usually it can be many things. I could be just playing around with an idea and something will just come together, or sometimes they're premeditated, like I'll have a focus or an emotion or something I want to express, and I'll just, you know, let it go through from there.
A lot of people express their emotions through their songs, so that's what you do?
Yeah, with some of them, yeah.
And so you would describe your music as, is it more love songs, if you said you like reveal your emotions through it?
Well, I talk a lot about, you know, I guess philosophical ideas in a way. I mean, like how I view the world, or, you know, the system or whatever, and, you know, just some of the songs really aren't, you know, they're just delight, they're just happy songs, you know, just have a good time type of songs, but some of them have more conceptual ideas, you know, like they have a direction, you know.
What would you consider that to be? Like, what style do you call that?
Well, that's just one song. That's sort of like a danceable rock song, but I'd say most of the tape, no two songs are really going to sound too much alike. I try to bounce around with the ideas, with different styles.
Are there any slow ballads on? You
Yeah,
have a tape?
I'm working on some now. Yeah, there's 2 ballads I'm working on.
What are your other plans for the near future, as far as music goes?
Well, eventually, you know, it'd be great to get signed. You know, I don't know if that'll ever happen, but you know, that's, I guess, the main goal is to try to get signed, to get a record contract. But you know, that's pretty much the main goal.
So hopefully you want to become famous, you think, or just
Yeah,
playing in a lot of clubs?
No, that would be nice. I mean, they're both great. I mean, the main thing, the reason why I started playing music in the first place is really because I just like playing music. I mean, just that is really enough. As long as I can do that, I'm happy. The other stuff is just an added bonus. You know, if I get it, great. If I don't, that's good too.
Yeah, so, well, what is your favorite part about playing music? If you're not really, if the first thing on your mind isn't becoming famous, then why do you do it? Like, what's the best part about it?
Well, I think the best part is when you have an idea or something you want to do, and you just watch the whole thing come together from scratch, and when you hear a finished product and you're proud of it, just it's a great feeling. You know,
It is. It's a great feeling,
something.
especially when people like what you're doing and they're reacting to it. Like if you see them dancing to your music, it's a good feeling.
Oh yeah, it's much better to see other people getting into it, not just you.
How long does it usually take for you to write like a whole song? Well, to get the song in your mind, then to write it, then to get everything together. How long is that process of just completing one song?
Well, just when it comes to writing songs, it's ridiculous. I mean, it could be, it's totally unpredictable. It could be a day, it could be an hour. I've had songs I've just like, they just hit me, and you know, it just clicked right together. And then some songs I had a few parts, and it just took months before I finished them, you know. But then once I have the basic idea down, when it comes to recording it, that just depends on how much time Vic has at the studio, how much time I have, and how much time the other people, like Mike D'Amato or Beckert, have to work with me.
Well, it seems like all the time you're putting into it is really paying off, because your music sounds great. And thanks for joining us. I really had fun talking to you. Thanks for telling me all about your music career. Good luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
I'll have to come see you.
She was taking me higher and higher. No, I'll never get my feet on the ground. Well, there's a
Here's one time it doesn't matter who your neighbor is. Here's the other. Life's too short. Stop the hate.
Now let's watch the No Fun Band playing Watch the Loonies Dance.
To you, smoking is pleasure. To your baby, it's poison. A message from the March of Dimes.
We're back with the No Fun Band. You guys, first of all, you're crazy. But why don't you introduce yourself for us and tell me what you play in the band?
I'm Tom. I play the bass.
I'm Ron. I play guitar.
I'm Ice P. I play the drums.
Yeah, I'm Ted, and you've seen what I did.
Yeah, I thought you guys were just going to give us a big yell, but anyway.
Yeah.
Hey!
Thanks for that. That really loosened things up. So,
Hey!
how did you guys meet? And when did you get together?
Me and Pete met when Pete was born because we're brothers.
Oh, Oh, really? I
It
didn't
was
know
quite some time ago.
It was a long, long time ago. So we've been together for a hell of a long time. And then the rest of us met when we went to high school. I ran into Ted, the singer, when we were in high school.
We had a
And
band called the Dead Birds back then.
we used to be the Dead Birds, because Dead Birds can't sing and neither could we.
Oh, my God.
That's where the name came from.
They're dead.
And then another brother of mine met Ron working at some music publishing company, and for like a year he's trying to get us together, and it never worked out. And then we finally got together, and there's still some questions to whether or not it worked out, but we keep trying anyway.
Well, you guys have really crazy names for your songs. Where do you come up with the names?
Out of the labyrinths of the twisted mentalities of the collective quadruplets that we are. And there's a fifth member who actually isn't here. The guy named George, who is currently playing trumpet on Royal Caribbean or some cruise ship in the Bermuda Triangle.
Without you?
Without us.
Without us,
He
totally.
ditched us. He's
a
pursuing a
phenomenal
solo
guitar
career
player.
now.
He's a phenomenal trumpet player, but he's also very twisted, extremely twisted. And he comes up with the really most trenchant, psychologically warped tunes that we have. You know, Garbage Day and
I Hate People.
I Hate People and Writhe and Roll, which is about an armless, legless torso flipping around the stage.
So this unknown guy comes up with the lyrics.
Actually, you wrote most of your
It's really everybody does it, you know. It's the No Fun Band. Really, the genesis of the No Fun Band was myself, my brother Pete, and this other guy George. Were in a jazz band, and after playing jazz, we'd want to bust loose and play something a little bit louder and a little more exciting. And the
This
only
is
song,
far from jazz.
yeah, we were like in wedding bands and jazz bands and playing, you know, Duke Ellington standards and stuff, and we wanted to play some rock and roll because his uncle gave him an electric guitar, and we just goofed around with it. He had it as a gift, and the only song we all knew was "No Fun" by Iggy Pop. So we started calling ourselves the No Fun Band because that was the only song that we knew.
Yeah.
Wow,
Iggy,
that's an interesting story about the name of the band.
Yeah, it
I
was
was
the,
going to ask that.
the only tune that we knew. It was the key of A, key of D, and after that we got lost.
I understand you guys play out a lot now. So where do you play out, and when did you start playing out?
We started playing out in
a few years ago, 2-3 years ago.
a hell of a long time ago. I don't know.
2.5.
Yeah, and we started playing a lot of the bleaker clubs, and then doing a lot of the sort of the punk and metal clubs in New Jersey, and there's a couple places upstate, and one or two in Washington D.C. where we have a few friends down there.
Gotta mention Beirut.
We were single-handedly responsible for closing down downtown Beirut.
And making them famous. And making them
We
famous.
used to play our band and pump bilge out into the street at the same time.
There's this club called Downtown Beirut.
Yeah,
And
that's
at
there.
the filthiest toilets in the world, they would pump the bilge out onto the street, you know, so nobody would want to come in because you'd have to walk through filth to get into the club just to listen to more filth.
And the management was unrelentingly cheap. They would pay you
And stupid.
Zippo, and they never
Pitcher of
deviated
beer.
into generosity once. It was just like, you got a pitcher of beer at the end of the night, and that was it. And you had to like totally wrangle for a second pitcher.
Well,
And there's plenty of pitchers that I poured into their PA system, burnt the suckers.
And the bartender was actually retarded. You know, the guy, he was.
He was close to it.
He was, you know,
He was a
a certified
moron, man.
imbecile.
He was like advanced broccoli or something.
The fun thing about that club is when we went in there, we walked in there, we said, what a dive. This place is definitely going to close because they had, you know, bilge on the street, they had a retarded bartender, and they were cheap, and nobody ever went in there, you know?
well, I'm glad you
Just a
guys
place
came
for
a
us.
long way from there.
We've
And
come a long way.
thank you for joining us. And
Thank
I'm
you.
glad to have you with us. And when we come back, we're going to hear another song.
Okay.
So don't go away, because when we come back, they're going to play for us again. Stay tuned.
Hello, Brooklyn.
No Fun Band.
To you, drugs are pleasure. To your baby, they're poison. A message from the March of Dimes.
Hey, thanks for joining us. I had fun. I hope you did too. So I'll see you next time right here on Impressions.